Hello, and welcome to SQL with Sean. Today I would like to talk about the output command in SQL Server. So what are we going to do in this lesson today? Okay, so we're going to create a database in SQL Server. We're going to create a table in that database, and then we're going to insert data into that table and show the output command and some of its uses. Okay, so first step is let's create the database. So here's the command I'm about to run. Create database test. That easy. Alrighty, our database has been created. So now I'm going to verify that I can get into that database. And as you can see up here at the top, I'm in the test database. Okay, so the next step is let's create a table. So preemptively before this lesson, I had mapped out what I thought we should show, and we are going to create a table called person. Okay, so this table is going to have presently 5 different columns. Really, just a few of them, or if not, really one of them is the most important. ID. So in this case, we are setting the ID to the primary key, but most importantly, we're also saying that this is an identity 1-1 column. So that's a auto-incremented field. Okay. We're also having a first name, middle name, last name, and a date of birth. We may not use all of these columns, but this is just for the demonstration and for the exercise. So let's create this table. That has been created. Okay, so a lot of times after I create a table, I like to see what has been created. So I am going to take a look at that. And so one thing I find useful for those of you that are not currently using this command, it's sp help. You can use this on a variety of different things. A lot of times if you don't want to necessarily navigate to the Object Explorer and open up the databases and then look at all the tables, this is a kind of a shortcut, quick way to see what object or table has been created. In this case, our person table, and it'll give us some vital stats. It'll talk about the column names that were created, what was the identity, were there constraints, is there an index, and at a later time we can talk more about constraints and indexes and foreign keys and such, but I like this command. It's very useful. Okay. Alright, so the next step to show the output command, I'm going to create a temporary table, and in this temporary table it's just going to have ID, which is not an identity insert, just a regular integer ID field, first name, middle name, and last name. That has been created. Okay, next step is we're going to insert that data into the person table that we created above, not the temporary table, but the actual person table. So what I'm doing here is inserting just two columns into person, and I'm actually going to only insert 2 values, which anytime you insert data into a table, you would identify what columns are being inserted into, and you would also have to display the values, and in this case I've done that. The caveat, the difference, is right here, this line. So I'm outputting all these inserted values into a temporary table that we've created right here. So those ID, first name, and last name are now also being inserted into the temporary table ID, first name, and last name. There we go. And to verify that this worked, and I'm not selecting from the actual table person, I'm selecting from the temporary table, we can see that that worked. So some usefulness for this, I think, a lot of times is within transactions, whether you're running large amounts of transactions or small. Sometimes in the relational database side, you may have to update other values and other tables, and output can be very useful for that, because when you're running large transactions, you can actually utilize the output command, update temporary tables to update other tables as well. So we can go into a more advanced session on that at another time, but I hope you guys found this useful. Thank you.